welcome back to our channel. We're in our new studio, slightly to the left of our old studio. I think it's the left. It's the left. All right, I'm here with Rudy. I'm going to let him briefly introduce himself, what his title is here, what he does, and then I'm going to ask him a little bit about his background and then some off the wall, maybe some goofy questions. I don't know. But Rudy, who are you?
My name is Rudy Uribe, and I joined Rudy Hero about 4 years ago. And in the last year, I've been doing freelance work. So I do a lot of the copywriting, a lot of the commercials that you see, come out of my pen, and a lot of the email information comes from me, and a lot of the training videos come from me as well. So I help the company with putting together monthly training programs with one of our managers from up north, and we've been doing that again for about 4 years now. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah. What's your background? What did you start your career as?
Well, I worked in radio. I worked at KLAC radio for 11 years, and then after that I went over to KNX, which was a news station, and then after that I went over to KGIL, which was playing oldies at the time, and then after that I went over to K-Day, which was playing rock. So in radio, you tend to bounce around a lot. 11 years at one station, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And best time of my life. The people there are just so creative and fun, and after work we'd go out and just goof off. It was great. And concerts, 3-4 concerts a week. So they invite you in, you get to go backstage. It was great, but that was a long time ago, and we've moved on since then, and that's actually a pleasure to be working with Rudy Hero.
Definitely. All right. So tell me about maybe a hobby that you have to keep your brain sharp, to keep you in the moment. What is a hobby, or even if you have more than one that you practice right now?
Yeah, I do a couple of things to keep the brain sharp. I love to write, and that again ties into writing commercials and everything. So I like to do short stories, and they're all fiction, and I like to write mysteries in particular. So I've had a couple of them published. I've had 4 stories that have been published. 2 are coming out in anthologies, believe it or not, in England. I'm entering contests all the time. Once a week I will get a prompt online that write a story about, and they'll give me a prompt. And the last one I just did was write about somebody who has a superpower. So I'm not writing about Superman or anything like that. I have to create a character with a superpower. So that keeps me sharp, and so I'm writing something every week. You have to do your craft every single day, otherwise it's going to get stale on you. And physically, I love to do lawn bowling, and most people have never heard of that.
Yeah,
It is huge in Australia. It is huge, across the pond, as they say in England, and they play for big money back there. In the U.S., it's not that big a deal, but it is a lot of fun and challenging. And the fun thing is that I love to play with my wife and my daughter, who's 26. And they're both better than I am, so we get out there. But it's an activity, it's outdoors, and it's really fun to do.
All right, so I don't know what that is. So we're gonna put a link down in the description to what exactly that is, maybe some video, because now I'm curious, and I don't think I'd be any good at it, but maybe sometime we can have a match.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right, so now what was your favorite family vacation?
Oh, actually, it was just a few years ago. We had, and I don't remember the year now, I want to say maybe 2018, we had a total solar eclipse in the United States. Mm-hmm. And it had been the first time since like 1776 that we had one out here. And I love astronomy, and it was on my bucket list. I had to see a total eclipse. So we grabbed our kids, and at the time they were 28 and 24, and I said, we're going to Tennessee, because that was one of the little stretches where it would reach totality. And they're like, okay, cool, let's go. So we ended up going to a resort that had 2 water parks. an outdoor water park and an indoor water park, and my 20-year-olds reverted to 10. And so it was hard getting them out of the water, but it was the best family vacation. And I gotta tell you, if you've never seen a total eclipse, it is out of this world. You know, there's a pun intended there, but it was spectacular. And in fact, I have an audio. I had my phone going at the time, not looking at the sun, but just had the voice recording going, and you can hear my daughter, who's 24 years old, the emotion when it reached totality. It looked like there was a hole in the sky, and it got dark at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was nighttime, and my daughter lost it emotionally. She was beside herself, and so that is a memory I will keep with me forever. So that was, you know, that's top one vacations.
Quite a vacation.
Yeah,
Historic. Now, what did you want to be when you were a little kid?
Oh gosh, I always wanted to be a play-by-play announcer for baseball, and I would do little league games at the local park, and they actually built a platform for me and put a microphone up there for me, and I've got to be 16, 15 at the time, and I would get up there and I would broadcast the little league games, and the parents loved it. You know, they get to hear their kids' names, and so I wanted to do that, and that's how I ended up in radio. So I didn't end up reaching that dream, but I did end up, you know, working in the profession that I wanted to be in, and that was broadcasting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So just have a couple more questions for you. The first one is a two-parter. What is your favorite non-fiction book that you've read?
My favorite non-fiction book.
The true ones.
Yeah, well, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a book that I've probably read 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And I'll read that every couple of years. I like fiction, so I don't read a lot of nonfiction books. 1776 is a book that I read. I'm not a big history buff.
Right.
Did not think I would enjoy it.
McCullough.
Exactly, McCullough, and I didn't think I would enjoy it. But once I got into it, the stories he tells really brought history to life for me.
Yeah.
So that's a book I absolutely love.
That's actually one of my favorite history books.
Is it?
So
Yeah.
just the way he describes like King George and everything at the beginning of the book. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
So following that, what's your favorite fiction book?
I have, first of all, you have to realize I hated reading growing up. In high school, man, I'd get those cliff notes. I would not, they'd give me a book to read, I wouldn't read it. And in my 20s, I was on vacation with my wife in Hawaii and her parents, and we had a 5-hour flight coming back. And there's no Kindles, there's no video games, there is nothing to do for 5 hours on a plane. So I went through a magazine rack and I pulled out a book called Thunderhead. And it's about a group of explorers and reporters on Lake Powell who end up facing a flash flood. It was a great thriller. I finished that book before we landed. And that book really got me to love reading.
That's awesome.
And so the authors are Lincoln Child and Preston Child. Douglas Preston is the other author. So they're a duo, and every year for Christmas, my wife gets me their latest book. They come out with a new book every year. Sometimes they come out with individual books as individual authors. Whatever they put out, I devour it. And I'll save it sometimes for when we go on vacation, because I love to read on vacation and relax, sit by the pool, and so those are my favorite fictional authors anyway.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, all right, and my last question, and this one's very important. It's probably the most important question I've ever asked anybody. What's your spirit animal?
My spirit animal.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a question I've never thought of. I probably go with an eagle.
What?
We were driving up to San Jose one day, just my wife and I, and a bald eagle came down low and was flying at about 10 o'clock out my driver's side window, and absolutely thrilled the daylights out of me just to see the majesty of this, you know, this bird was something that took me by surprise, and I got emotional seeing that too. I'd never seen one, certainly not in flight, and so if I had to go with one, I think that would be it. To be soaring high, to build your nest up as high as you possibly, and to have the vision to be able to spot a rodent from, you know, whatever it is, 1,000, 2,000 feet. To me, that's just something special.
Awesome. So those were my questions for you, Rudy. I really appreciate you sitting down with me. You guys on YouTube, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.
Don't you lose sight